Good evening and welcome to the 13th session of One by One Gupshup hosted by the Rajasthan and Gujarat chapters of the Indian Society of Landscape Architects. I hope all of you are keeping well. Please ask your questions in the chat box and we will ask them during the Q&A session. Today we have with us Rucha Nangare from Sangli. Ms. Rucha Nangare completed her Masters from CEPT University in 2009 and along with Mr. Bobby Sujan Singhani started the firm Beyond Green in 2011, where she is the principal and partner. The firm has offices in Ahmedabad and Sangli and recently opened an office in Pune. Her firm has many design commissions across the country and few have been awarded with international and national design awards. They see design as a means to enhance the human experience in spaces where people experience emotions, achieve creative breakthroughs, enjoy with one another. Performance is both performed and witnessed, and memories occur. Their philosophy is to make design as a backdrop for all these experiences every single time. Thank you for joining us today, Rucha. I request you to present your work.
Yeah, thank you, Sandeep.
Yes. Please share your screen.
So is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So thank you, ISOLA, Gujarat and Rajasthan chapter for giving us this opportunity to present our thoughts and work on this platform. I also congratulate the past presenters who actually had presented a very good work and actually opened up a huge vocabulary of landscape for all of us. So while I was going through the presentation, listening to the talks, there were many thoughts in my mind running. I was able to relate to some of the presentations. Somewhere like कि हाँ ऐसा हमने भी कुछ किया हुआ है, and somewhere so complex that we thought whether we will ever get a chance to do something like this. So we are used to these terms like nature, flora, fauna, ecology, plant material, and we start categorizing the work that we do to fit into these terms. So following few images that you will see, you will be able to agree on the point that we are related to nature in some or the other way, and we like all these natural settings, and we try to imitate or take inspiration from these images. But what happens when we talk about landscape in an urban scenario? So you at points encounter with a project where you are challenged from all the possible ways, and actually the project says कि अब इसको landscape बना के दिखाओ. So then at that point, what do you do? So you actually break the whole conventional way of looking at landscape. So this brings us to the today's presentation and topic, where we say this is beyond the green. So the first project I will be sharing is a 20-room luxury hotel in Lucknow, and it's called Livana Suites. And we were actually called for landscape, of course, and also to do the facade development. It was actually a refurbishment project. So the site was located in a very tightly fitting fabric of the city and some around 15 minutes away from the Lucknow railway station. The site was a very straightforward 180 by 100 feet ka plot with the existing building on one side, and rest of the area had some temporary parking sheds which were removed later on for accommodating the proposed landscape. So this was the existing building when we entered the project. So we had to retain the structural frame of the building, and at the same time had to change the character of the building so that it would look like a luxury hotel. So some few more images of the existing building. So we started with the facade development and first did some volumetric studies for this. So while we were doing this, the intent of the design was to create a facade which was site responsive, climate responsive, at the same time aesthetically appealing in the context where it was situated. And the approach that we had was firstly definitely to shy away from the whole idea what we call as the pigeon window facades, and instead have the screen which will make the skin of the building. and which will also allow the visual connections as well as cut down the harsh light, which since the major two facades of the building were from on the southwest and the southeast. And the other observation that we had was the building we felt was very flattish and thought we should increase the volume of the building in some way. So this was the first attempt that we made for the development of the facade, where we had these huge leaves in the form of screens, and you can also see how we had extended it over the height of the building. And then somehow we were not convinced with this. And then we started thinking about what if we extend the floor planes and start, getting some space for the greens into it. You can also see the facade has been extended on the top to make the frame so that it looks like an added floor on the top. And then, of course, like a greedy designer, we extended these floor plates still further and started putting the green. So we always had this idea in mind कि वो green होना चाहिए, so the building looks behind behind the trees. And after doing this, we got a mail from the structural designing saying that ये तो possible नहीं है, and you are increasing the load with the soil, with increasing the slab, with increasing the everything, and putting the trees over it. So this is not happening. And then again we were back to the building planes, and this is what then we thought, to make the building with some corrugations and have some nice green insertions. But then again, not giving up the idea of the extending of the planes, we started strategically again approaching the design. And then this was finally what we did. So we had the screen in the form of louvers, and the ground floor slab was extended. It also defined the main entrance of the building, and as well as you can see the frame in which these louvers were placed properly, also enhancing the overall volume of the building. So this was how the final composition came up with, where we had the ground floor, which was a stone cladded box, and the corner as a jali, which was also a main element of focus when you enter the building, and the frame that you can see, which actually very well screened the louvers. Then these were few details that we worked on, where the extended slab had these potted plants, the way the jali was designed, and then of course the louvers, which was the main element of the whole composition. Since it was a huge decision to be made, few samples were actually made at the factory first and studied for its proportions as well as its mechanism. So this, you can see how the thing was done. So later on, we thought, initially these were made as single whole pieces of louvers, but then we thought this was not giving the character that was expected, and hence later on it was divided into 3 parts. So this is during the construction. You can see the main frame coming up, and the other side you can see at the other stage where the louvers were installed. So while all this was happening, we also started working on the landscape part of the project. And the 2 main areas we had were the ground floor and the terrace. So the terrace was to be designed as a book cafe, which was to be used during the weekdays, and it was to be designed as a silent DJ party area on the weekends. So this was the terrace plane. Because we were extending the frame of the building on the top, it actually enclosed the terrace very well, and it did not feel like an leftover top floor of the building. The supports were very well placed on the existing columns of the building. And then we started throwing ideas in the office to how will a book cafe be. If you can see, the book cafe was placed in the one corner of the building inside, and the other way there was the entrance to the terrace. So the initial thought we had was to make it like a very huge group of bubbles, which will be private sitting spaces, and the central area could be a common sitting area, and also can be doubled up as a dance floor. And then the thought was that was feeling more like a college wala canteen wala feel. So we thought thoda formal hona chahiye, and then we started doing these formal cubicles. And then refining it further, the cubes were again done, and then finally we thought why not skew them so that the green actually wraps up all the skews together. And then finally, we thought of this where the skews were actually thought of like pods. So these were the party pods or the reading pods. The central area you can see was with the loose furniture, which was used as a dance floor during the weekends. And the other important element along with this was a DJ box, which was placed in a corner and also elevated so that it did not come or hurt in, during the weekdays otherwise. So this is how the space looks. You can see the DJ box, which is in red in the right side corner, which was elevated. You can see the loose furniture placed in the central area, which one was able to shift when the floor was to be used as a dance floor. A huge screen was hung from the top of the it's a water tank there. And these day beds, which were placed at the corners of this open space, which actually hold the space very well. So this was the entrance to the terrace. So now the other very important, or the most challenging part on this terrace was to design the entrance to the terrace. So now you can imagine the space to be used as a book reading area and a DJ or a party floor. So like very two different opposite characters. And then it was a huge challenge ki ab kisko importance then how to manage this. So this entrance was designed as a tunnel below the DJ box, which you can see on the top, the red one. And one complete side was done into this whole idea with louvers and the green at the back, so that the green started peeping inside and you actually get a good collage of this louvers and green. And on the other side, you can see this metal wall with the cutout of eyes made into this. The whole idea was because you are coming to a party space, the whole thing is to be seen and to see. So the idea of eyes was from there, and you can actually see the green peeping out through the eyes. So this gave a very subtle image when you enter on the one side, while the other side had this complete story of the eyes. And there was this one more very interesting space that we carved out into this, a circular one, which is the must-have space in the recent time. It was a selfie point. So the circular area was carved with all the mirrors cladded over it. So this is how the space otherwise looks. With the bamboo screen, it was done for the privacy from the adjoining building, but at the same time not to cut the association with the sky. So these were those pods which had the furniture and the planter and the metal partitions in between. And you can also see the planters were done in metal with those dash and dot pattern carved out into it. The lighting of the planter was not done in a conventional way where we actually put a light and we light the plant directly, but instead we integrated the light in the planter itself. So this is another pod at the entrance. So this is how the overall space looks. You can see all the pods which are placed very beautifully in between those small planters and the screen covering the area. So this is how the space looks in the evening, the complete ambience of it. And also you can see the light leaking out of these planters. So another pod where you can see the furniture as well as these partitions. Now these partitions were also an interesting element of design where they had these rectangular cutouts placed staggered on either sides and painted with bright red and yellow color. So the whole space, including the furniture, had a muted color. Only the cushions and these two cutout colors were something which were very popped out. Since the space was functioning in a dual way, one with a very subtle calm area and the other which had to be a very peppy, happy kind of a space. So one more area with the furniture and the planters. So these are a few images shared by the client when the space was utilized. So while all this was again happening, there was another area on the ground which was to be landscaped. And the first very important element which came up here was the driveway. So it actually cut the whole area into two parts. And then, of course, the parking. Since the building use was such, the whole area was occupied by parking. And now the question was, where is the space for that so-called landscape? So this was the space that was left, the wall at the bottom that you can see. And like any other designer who can take every point as a challenge and he has to design. So we also said, "Ki, haan, theek hai, chalo wall hai," but we started calling it as a theme wall in the first instance. And then we started putting up some ideas where we first thought this to be a long series of slender planters with specimen plant into it. And then we thought, why not break the whole idea of the planter to, not to see it in a way of conventional planter, but instead have these as small test tube vases, you can say, which will have flowers, and lights were thought to be integrated part of this whole composition. And then there was another idea where we thought, why not to look this as an urban street? And so while we were doing all these experiments, there was this existing tree there on the site which actually came to our rescue. And then this is what we did. A metal tree was done, a sample of it was done first. And the light was done in such a way that it actually looked like the leaves of the tree. So this is how it looked after the installation on site. So the metal tree and the existing tree. And this is how the driveway was done. The series of these metal trees you can see, and then the whole wall was cladded in the stone, and the same stone was used on the floor as well. And this is how finally the building came up. You can see the frame, which very well, the louvers structured into it, and the corner of the building as the jali, like I had mentioned earlier. So this was how the jali came up. It was done into the local stone. They call it as a pink sandstone, and the local craftsmen worked over it, and they did it very beautifully. And this is how the complete area looks like, the building composition with the jali and the driveway. So another view looking towards the main entrance of the area. And this is with the lights. So this is how the facade lighting looked like. The ambience in the evening of the driveway. The whole, the globe box, you can see the light leaking out from the jali, from the facade, and the whole ambience created by the driveway. So this project would not have been completed in this way. This was actually a teamwork with all the other consultants of this project. And I should mention this, the main important part was the client, who was the main pivot all throughout this complete process. So this is all about the first project. The second project I will be sharing is completely opposite to what we have seen now in terms of its area, in terms of its usage, and also in terms of its character, the way it was designed. So it was a private residence, a terrace. It's located in Ahmedabad. So this is, if I tell you, it's near IIM, in front of the Ahmedabad Management Association building, you can relate this. And this was the area. It was actually a 800 square feet terrace, which had this lounge in the center and which divided it into two parts. So the area for landscape was just 350 square feet. The first impression, you can say, when we saw the site was, since it was situated on the 6th floor of the building, as soon as you came out of the lounge, the first and most important association you had was with the sky. And you could actually see nothing on the horizontal plane. And as you would, you go towards the parapet, you could see the canopy of the trees. So those were the two things that really hit our mind, and that was something from where we started designing. And this is how it was done, where, considering the orientation of the building and the way the terraces were divided, the terrace on the right side that you can see, we called it as the Sunrise Terrace, and the other side was called as the Sunset Terrace. And the Sunrise Terrace had this little breakfast on one side, and the other terrace had a bench, a raised deck, and these planters that you can see. So one could connect from the staircase from inside directly to the Sunrise Terrace or to the lounge. The area behind the lounge was used for the servant movement. So these were few details that we worked on, where the table was designed with a combination of wood and metal. and the parapet wall, like any other terrace, had many pipelines running through it, and then the challenge was to cover the pipes running through. So we made this box over it, and actually thought this to be to feel like a ledge. So when they had guests over there, it can be actually used to keep a glass or a plate. So bench was thought to be slices of wood actually hanged over the parapet wall and not as a solid block. So this is how the table was made. The area in the center that you can see as leftover part was kept for the glass planter. We will see the detail in the later images. So this was another image where you can see the rusted metal and the wood. So this was the bench where you can see every single piece separated, and the way it was detailed out to have this curved edge so that the cushion is placed over it and it does not slip out. So this is how the bench looked. And the other most important part or the element of this project that we did was the flooring. So it was because it was imagined to be, reflection of sky. The whole project we thought to be into blue floor. It was designed, or it was made into this blue terrazzo flooring. And this is how it looked. So the bench was imagined to be floating over this blue floor. And the way the floor reflected things, it actually felt like water, and hence the name of the project we kept as Liquid Sky, where we had the reflection of the sky and that feeling of water. So here you can see those glass planters kept here. So idea was when the occupant used the space for having their food or breakfast, they actually could plug those herbs planted in these glass boxes and also see the soil wherein it was growing. So I think that was the very different and important or interesting element that happened here. This is the view looking outside from the lounge. This is another view. This is the view where you can see the corrugated sheets placed on the horizontal or mounted above the parapet. The idea was, since we were talking about the association with the sky, and this was where we thought to cover up the whole parapet, so that when one enters the terrace, the whole the horizontal sight line is cut off and you get a volume to the terrace. Also, you can see one corner of this complete terrace was left with it was not covered. The thing was, whenever we visited the site in the evening, we always had this beautiful sunset seen from this point. And so the decision was taken not to cover it. So another view of the bench. So, and of course the trellis, or the trellis, whether big or small, it always gives a character to the space. So view of the bench along with the ledge there. Another view of the terrace with the lights coming in. So the table, of course, now this was another story where this chairs, if you had noticed, these were white in the previous place, and then they were painted into orange. The reason being here. So there was this wall there on the terrace, and the client wanted us to do something on the terrace, on the wall here. And we thought, instead of treating it much or making it too loud, why not make it very simple, subtle? So we thought of making this wall with the stucco plaster. And the door was painted orange. This was again the idea of the sunset, so taking the colors from the sunset. And you can see those corrugated sheet, inserted as the chhajja. Now this idea was from the client, but the whole composition came up very well. And this is how the space looks when you have the lights on. The planters were all in muted color. The only color was from the bougainvillea and the texture that you can see at the back. So when you're designing or working into such scenarios of urban fabric and working with such site constraints, you start fitting the whole project to justify that these are fitting into those landscape terms. And we chose to take a bold step and design the project to look like an landscape art installation. The green dots that you see in this in the complete project are very few to count on fingers actually, and maybe not even registered at an urban scale. But the belief that we have that there is landscape beyond the green is there. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rucha. That was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you,
Really,
Sandeep.
uh, we'll just start having questions in a minute. So in the meanwhile, I had a couple of questions for you. There's
Yes,
pretty
Sandeep.
intense use of lighting in most of your projects. You want to talk about, how do you conceptualize that?
Sorry, if you can come back.
There's a pretty intense use of lighting in most of projects. Do you want to talk about how you conceptualize that in general? I mean, when you're designing?
About the lighting. So, yes. So in the first project, the lighting, I mean, the whole combination of the lights and the louvers was very interestingly done, and it was thought in the initial part itself. And again, when we talk about the trees, the lights were, I mean, if we would have done the tree with conventional or something that you can actually relate directly, कि हाँ ये tree का पत्ता बन गया है. That was very easy. But then creating drama out of light is something which we always try to. So that was the reason we did the lighting in this way. And it's not always that you have to highlight the lighting to be conventional way of light. It can be an element always.
Yes, absolutely. That is interesting. So Namita has a question about liquid water, and she's asking that is the flooring, does it have a special coating to give that extra shine in the project?
No. It's not an extra shine. The images were taken when the flooring was completed. But of course, the agency that worked on this flooring, they did it very beautifully. The way they had actually some organic, elements added into it. So you can get the technical parts later, but this is how the flooring was done.
Right, interesting. And I think it's always a challenge when you get this beautiful landscape at the bottom of the building and they then say, well, most of it is going to be parking and
Yeah.
what is left of it is pretty much. It's an interesting way to see how do you deal with that kind of effect. So is it difficult to then convince the client, or how does that process work?
No, in this case, because these given elements were like the given brief was there that so many cars and so much driveway. So there was no other way where we could do this landscape. So there was nothing to convince as such in this case. But definitely, yes, it was a challenge to find out the right element for the place. You can see like we worked on many options. These are few which I had shown you. There are many others that were done and thrown in the dustbin. कि ये नहीं चलेगा. So that was always there.
Absolutely. It's a lot of compliments in the chat box that you're getting about the depth of the details that you work on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat box.
Either it actually went beyond the green. I think there are no questions.
I had another offhand question, sort of. How do you name your projects?
How do we
Name your projects.
name our projects?
Yeah.
Okay. So Livana was the name given by the client itself. The hotel is called as Livana Suites. So that was there. And regarding the liquid sky, as we start working, the ideas are always there. And then these are not words which come to mind, on that point. But as we keep working further, and when we see the end product, कि हाँ चलो ये अब ऐसा हो गया, the idea is always there, but the words are never there at the first instance.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So Himanshu has a question here. So you're working all around the country. How do you manage to find local teams and vendors wherever you go?
So the client actually play a very important role in this, definitely. And the engineering team or the contracting team there, they play another important role. So I think that is very important for us to, associate with them and interact with them and get the people there. And of course, at some points, we actually go on searching or finding people कि कहाँ पे किसने क्या किया हुआ है. So that is what I think everybody does.
Yeah. So you don't have a set team that goes across.
No. No. We keep exploring every time. I think that is the correct answer. We never have the same team repeating anywhere. It's always a different thing.
Oh, that's challenging. In fact,
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah. So Nirav has a question and is asking your opinion about landscape in the urban context in general. How do you view landscape in the urban context?
In urban context, of course, see, here at least we are trying to say that when we are talking about urban context, the area that is confined where we are going to do the landscape plays an important role. When you enter the site, the whole urban thing is the site itself. And then you talk about the site ki usme kya ho sakta hai. And then you start talking about who is the user of the place. And then you start thinking ki how best you can do the landscape for the place. And if he's talking about the urban context at a larger level, so that is a completely different story where we are talking about the occupants as the city itself. Right, and then the urban spaces, the way those are thought of, that is again a very different scale. I think, comparing that to this presentation would be a different thing. But then, of course, for urban context projects, if we talk, it's the site when you enter the area, and that becomes your whole urban context.
Right. So Rajshekar Rao has another question, and he's asking if you have a specialist lighting consultant, or do you design it yourself?
The ideas are ours, but definitely without the consultants, it is never complete. We will definitely need them, and their expertise is always something which is backing up the ideas. So yes, we have.
So how does it work? So typically with a lighting consultant, because there are very few lighting consultants and very few of us who work with them. So how does the design collaboration work with them?
Okay, so in our case, we have Mr. Giri from Ahmedabad. And since, you must be knowing Sandeep, but, I and Bobby are too much into customization, and we like to customize lights. It may be lights or it may be any element of the design. But specifically in the case of lights, we have those ideas. We discuss the ideas with the consultant. So he gives us the information ki isme itna lux, isme itna size, this type of light will work, or this kind of fixture will be used. And then of course the samples are done. And once we are convinced with the samples, the lighting effect that we want, and then it is then proceeding.
Right. Interesting. That's a very interesting question. So Vishendranath has a question which I seem to have missed. So he's asking that clients always want everything in their palette, and you manage to create this very clean look in your project. So how do you overcome the challenge of convincing the client that a minimalistic palette works more than just filling it with variety of things?
So if I have to talk about the project of Liquid Sky in the terrace, if you have noticed the interior views, if you see the choice or the taste of the client itself was very minimal. So now here also it becomes important that when you enter a project, the conversations that you have with the client, you start understanding what he needs, and then you start your design part. And then you cannot say कि अभी हम क्योंकि मुझे प्लांट मटेरियल आता है, मुझे प्लांटिंग आता है, तो मुझे उसे हर बार प्लांटिंग में ही करना है. You will also have to start respecting what the client needs and what his taste is. So specifically in Liquid Sky, we noticed that thing, that part of the project there where he had that kind of choice where minimalistic was everything.
Right. Interesting. So NB has a question when he's saying that, again, I think it's related that, how do you play with this in creating so many options, doing these templates in the factory and convincing the client and also managing the timeline and cost of the project?
So we like doing design. That is our passion, and many of you people know Bobby. So we cannot stop thinking, and we are very and also the enthusiastic team that we have. So we always come up with ideas. We always come up with options, and something that convinces us कि हाँ चलो यही करना चाहिए. जब तक वो नहीं होता तब तक डिजाइन तो आगे बढ़ता ही नहीं है.
Truly. Absolutely.
We have a lot
And
of
we
scope to keep fighting in the office if anybody wants to join us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Manju has a question. He's asking that, do you look at ecology, in this constrained space?
See, in this particular case, like I started the presentation only saying that, it's very difficult always to put the project into that term of planting, ecology, plant, design, wala, landscape wale jo terms hote hain. So not possible, maybe not necessary also every time. It's important that the user, the way the space has been used, the way the user has to, invite the guest, or the space it has to be overall composed is important sometimes. So I think that is the reason why this topic was done. And hence I said, the past presentations that we saw, there was so much, and then selecting these two projects out of the whole thing. It's not that we don't do projects which are ecology related or planting related, but there are also times where you are not able to completely put these terms into the project.
Yes. Absolutely. There's always this challenge of the user experience versus the larger challenges that come up.
Yeah, like even if you see the initial sketches that we have done or the ideas that we throw, it always has that one plant, एक tree, एक pot, कुछ तो होगा. So being landscape architects, we always try doing that, but sometimes it does not happen.
Absolutely. So Shaili has a question that I missed. Is the ledge in Liquid Sky openable? And if it was, what was the material used?
Okay.
The one with the surface.
Yeah, so it was done into plywood and it was screwed. I mean, with the screws, it was fixed. So if it required, it could be removed. Not very complicated detail, a simple one.
Yeah. Shruti has a question that, how does your office work across the distance? How do you manage to sort of work together, get together? I mean, of course, this world is now completely online, but design is still a challenge to do. So how do you guys work together?
I think she can contact me. I will explain her how this happens. It's not a short thing to explain now. But yes, we are always connected on the internet and on the phone calls, and we have continuous discussions over the phone. So.
Surely. Shruti has a question where she's asking that, did you also look at wind as an opportunity for the terraces that you're designing?
Sorry, come back.
Did you look at wind as an opportunity for the terraces that you're designing?
The views.
Wind.
No, I didn't get you.
Wind.
Sandeep, your voice is cracking.
Okay. Trupti is asking, did you use wind as an opportunity in the terrace?
Okay, wind. Okay. So not an opportunity, but since it's an open space, you always have that feeling of the wind there. So if you're talking about the whole breeze, windy thing, then no. But then of course, because it's an open space, you always feel that freshness.
Yes. And Tintu is asking that, can the wooden bench in Liquid Sky be dismantled or moved, or is it a fixed bench?
It is a fixed bench.
Minesh has an interesting question. How do you budget for such projects? And how the client in such budgets?
No, I don't know how to answer this, but somehow we are able to convince the clients because the way the design process, see, when we are designing this, if we don't involve the client in the process, I think that is where the whole budget thing comes into mind, is what we have experienced. You know, the way we want the client to be the part of the design becomes very important, and then he does not really, he has the thing in mind, but I don't know if he has ever discussed कि ये इसका budget कितना. So if there's something which is going beyond, he actually rejects.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a to and fro process. It's not very
Yes.
one way. Absolutely. I guess that's the end of the questions. Thank you, Rucha. Thank you so much for being here today. It was a
Thank you so
really
much, Sandy.
see. Thank you, everyone. So for our next session, we will have landscape architect Hemali Samant from Mumbai. Please join us next Saturday. I would like to thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Good night.